Coach, feels good to bounce back like that, eh?
Yeah, you know, we got a lot of character in the room, so we figured we would. You know, the first 10 minutes was not how we scripted it. I think they put us on our heels. They're a good team that way, and you know, coming off a game last night, I think they wanted to pressure us early, get a lead. It's a little easier to play that way, and luckily Halak was solid early and got ourselves out of trouble, found our game, started transitioning pucks better, and then it kind of fell into place. I think, you know, everyone contributed. Obviously, the big line shows up in the score sheet, finishes, but I think the other lines did their job as well, and as a result, we get a good win against a good team.
How much did that Bergeron goal kind of help settle you guys down a little?
Well, it's a little deflating for the other team at times. When you have a lot of pressure on, and then you come down the other end and one gets in, it's, you know, a tip in front and stoppable puck. I mean, it's a good play by them to score a lot of goals like that. But so it gives us juice, but I think it takes some away from them as much as anything. You know, we're going to keep playing no matter what. You know, we knew we weren't great here Thursday. We had to be better, so that was an area that we wanted to focus on as a good 60-minute effort. We're starting to front our game, but I think, as much as anything, I think it put them back at their heels. From then on, we seem to be able to take over and get the momentum.
I know we've talked about other areas where Costa's made gains in his game this season. Is there anything you think he's doing different offensively, you know, with all these goals coming into it?
I think just honestly stronger on the puck. Before he'd try his one-on-one moves, he'd get pushed off, and I don't think he had the strength to stay on the battle like Marshy does, for example. So he gets second and third effort opportunities to make plays. I think it's just physical maturity, to be honest with you. A little more willing to hang around the front of the net. That's a Berge effect. I think he's built that into both his wingers that, hey, when it's your turn to get there, get there. You're not going to live there. Showed we had a bit of a set play. Backdoor play in the power play. Toronto does expose the front of the net. Pasta was willing to go there and got rewarded. So I think it's those two things, a little more net presence and just physically strong.
On that point, the play that Dave Pasternak made on Berge's goal where he goes in the corner, pushes a guy off the puck to take it and makes the play. I mean, it's just, you were recently citing a play that, you know, young guys could learn from, like Marshy's goal recently. I mean, is that another one?
Well, it is. It's you know, usually these things are when we have different focuses of our video generally, right? Especially when you have quick turnaround in games, and one of them last week was offensive zone play, and now we're seeing that we got 5 the other night, losing effort, but still part of that. Tonight, some of it's power play, but still our 5 on offensive play is improving, and some of that is teachable moments for an Anders Bjork, because he finds himself in those spots. You watch him, he has the puck a lot below the goal line, but the same plays don't materialize because the second wave of guys can knock him off it. I think it's just a natural progression for him. He looks stronger than he did last year, and a year from now, I think you'll see more out of those low plays against heavy defensemen. In open space, David was always good here. Since he's been 18 years old, now he's able to do those things. I think Jake is even another guy that's taken a stride from last year. The goal, the play made the other night, squeezing along the boards. He stand, now he's stronger and sticks with it. Some of it's maturity, some of it's knowing in the league that you need to have second effort because the players are good. You can't give up on pucks. You might not get another chance. So that's kind of what I see relating to those two guys. I mean, we've got more young guys, but that's how their game's going to have to grow. And I think it will. I've seen it already. Parts.
What did you think of JFK?
He was good. You know, I would have liked to get him more minutes as the game went on, but we tried to keep him with the match 26 matchup. That line, Johnson, we thought it would be good for him. Made a great play to Jake backdoor, but winning the puck, being strong on it. I thought he was in the middle of the ice well, won some board battles, and good. I mean, the message to him, I think we talked about this morning, was a bit like the Grizzlies comparison. So we took Matt Grizzlies aside this morning, and they played together at BU, and hey, Grizzy, explain a little bit, so you know, like how it worked out for you, you know, because they are buddies and teammates. Sometimes a player translating those thoughts is easier than the coach, and just play hockey. He skates well enough, thinks the game well enough, has NHL skills. It's just a matter of play the game, you know, play to your strengths. And tonight was step one. I think he was better than I've ever seen him in that area. And tomorrow, hopefully, he gets a little confidence from it. He's able to translate it.
That first line gets on the score sheet, like you said, all over the place, but Do you think after that first period especially, they maybe rededicated themselves defensively with Tavares matchup to home here?
I think they were set to play a good, solid defensive game today. You know, Jay had them in the room doing some video of some of their breakdowns, either yesterday or this morning. So I think, you know, they realized they needed a reset in that area, a little more stopping and starting. They're pretty good that way. That's why they're, you know, I think the best line, two-way line in the league. They don't let it slide very often. I think we saw that tonight. They were finding loose pucks in seams. We had one breakdown in the third period. Tavares got loose in front. We didn't lock a lane, but other than that, I thought they were really.
Prior to the second, you were having a discussion with the officials. What was that about?
Prior to the second period, I felt that Bergie was getting thrown out of a lot of draws, so I asked if they could clarify what was going on with him. It's a repeating issue when we play the Toronto Maple Leafs, so I thought I'd have my conversation then and see if they could allow him to stick around for a few of the draws. Like Marshy was taking more than Bergie after a while. And guys get thrown out, but it was at an incredibly high rate, so I wonder if there was an influence from an outside factor. So we talked about it a bit, that maybe explained to him what he could do to stay in there. So that was basically the conversation.
I thought their first power play was about the best you faced this year. They got 8 or 9 shots out of it.
I think the Washington one's pretty good too, Kevin, but yes, on par, absolutely.
That said, in the middle of it, do you think we're in trouble here? I mean, this is.
We know that they chuck pucks to the net, right? So it's their MO, and Marner's real good at disguising pass, shot, when chip it in there. Kadri's hard in front. You know, Marlowe, they missed Matthews on the other elbow, snapping it in. I mean, that's obviously a dangerous weapon, but so you need to get clears in those situations, or good sticks, so that what doesn't happen on the goal Tavares scored as we came out of the box. That's the one you want to avoid, that seam pass. I think if we had let him shoot the puck there, Yarrow square, and we hope he makes the save, and then when we get beat with a seam. So that's the one area that we concentrate on, letting him have that shot, as opposed to giving him an easy seam pass. We're giving up the shot, but if that's what was, you know, we had to do, then get the clear from there. And we kept it out of our net, so mission accomplished, even though it didn't look good, but he made some good saves here. It wasn't exactly the way we liked, because I think if you get the clear on the rebound, then it, you know, now they got to set up again, but when they keep getting second and third and fourth chances to chuck it at the net eventually, you know, we got away with it. But that was kind of what we'd like to do, get the clears on those, recover to the front of the net, outnumber them there, because they get a lot of bodies there.
And take one more question. That was his most work of the night.
Yeah.
Any hesitancy in bringing him back tomorrow night?
Right now, no. I haven't had a conversation with him. I want to make sure physically he's fine. I don't believe there'll be an issue. It's 7 o'clock game. We won't skate in the morning. Just get up, you know, and have a few meetings. So if not, Flatters here played great on Friday, but I would suspect Yarrow will be ready to go.
It was a small adjustment, but Grizzly playing with Z from the second period on. Why was he?
Middle of the first. I just found our puck moving with Bergie's line against that forecheck wasn't where we needed it to be. Grizz moves the puck well, added a little mobility, allowed Brandon to play against Kadri. That group, Marlowe heavier. So that was just something in game that I made just to allow a little more mobility on that, or puck. Brandon's mobile, I should say. Just, you know, puck moving ability, get it up into Bergie's line's hand, because we did want to stick with the Bergie versus Tavares matchup. So I think it, you know, worked out well tonight.
Thanks, everyone. We'll open up the room shortly.